The IIP numbers for India just released paints a rather grim scenario for India. After showing a 1.8% rise in the month of November 2019, December 2019 numbers of industrial production shows a fall of 0.3%, which means that the industrial production is now showing a degrowth. Rather grim scenario. Nirmala Sitharaman, the finance minister, has been talking about green shoots appearing in the Indian economy, and that does not seem to be the case over here. Now we are seeing once again degrowth. I have been pointing out from time to time that the economic situation is going to get worse in the year 2020, so please be careful. Of particular significance is the figures of inflation. The consumer price index is indicating that retail inflation grew in January by 7.59% versus a rise of 7.36% in December of 2019. Therefore, now we are seeing a scenario where inflation is rising and growth is coming down. In such a scenario, in every likelihood, Reserve Bank of India is expected to keep the interest rates on a pause button for some more time, because we are seeing inflation going up whereas growth coming down. This is not a scenario in which any central bank would go and reduce interest rates, because its mandate is to control inflation, and that does not seem to be under control at this point of time. In another important news, Donald Trump is to visit India February 24 to 25. A grand welcome awaits him in Ahmedabad. Now they call it Kemcho Trump. Just some time back, NARENDRAMODI was in United States, and the Howdy Modi carnival can scarcely be forgotten. It was a tremendous event, very much extravagant in many ways, but great fanfare was seen by the Indian American community in Houston, Texas, and a similar fanfare seems to be in the offing in Ahmedabad this time. So Donald Trump, who is seeking re-election in the 2020 US presidential elections, is on a great deal signing spree, which, if I may call it, in India, and I hope that something fruitful comes out of his meetings after all the fanfare is over, and something constructive gets signed between the United States and India, which can further the economic activity of both the countries. Educomp Solutions Private Limited is a company which has been selling vernacular courses to schools, and primarily designed to deal with vernacular and school courses, school mediums. By digitizing the content, is now been held guilty of criminal conspiracy. It was selling products under the names of Smart Class, EduTech, and had gained a great foothold in these vernacular schools, and was doing quite well as an educational digital content company. However, many of the loans that were taken by EduSmart Services Private Limited, another sister concern, they were, by the way, EduSmart Services Private Limited was directly in touch with the schools, and Educomp Solutions was providing all these solutions to the sister concern. In any event, the bottom line is that there was a securitization of receivables on the basis of which loans were being taken, but CBI has found that the receivables were either just not there, or the securitization of the cash flows from the schools to whom these educational content was being sent was really either cancelled, or it was not approved, or it was changed at the last minute. So you are basically getting loan on the basis of securitization of receivables which were just on, or receivables based on certain cash flows which were just not present. That is pretty much fraud, and CBI has registered case against Educom Solutions. Pretty disappointing to see so many fraud cases now coming out, and the unfortunate thing in this case is this is controlled by a whole group of directors, CFOs and CEOs who are pretty much very highly educated from the top management institutes, and one can understand business conditions going wrong and you not be able to do well, but resorting to outright fraud to get loans is something which is definitely not the need of the hour for the Indian economy. Very distasteful. On another note, I did mention that today being the options expiration date, one must be careful. I did point out that there would be a good amount of selling today. In fact, at the beginning of the week itself, I had pointed out that there would be a roller coaster ride this week. So we had Monday good, Monday bad, Tuesday, Wednesday being pretty good. And I did mention that options expiration date, you will see a lot of selling, which you have seen. There was a little bit of respite, between 10:30 and 1:30, but the selling has gained ground once again. Markets are expected to end on a red note, and options expiration date, so people should be very careful. Tomorrow should be a good day for markets. So first day of the new futures and options series, should see a good amount of buying tomorrow we should be back again. So those who have to offload their positions, please do so tomorrow. Do not forget, I have been pointing time and again that next week is going to see a lot of selling. So many of the factors like the coronavirus, the slowing growth, all these are going to come to the fore next week. So you may see a rather difficult and a pretty red week. Monday may be slightly okay to begin with, but as soon as Europe opens, things will start getting very sour. Most of the next week, I think you will see a good amount of selling. So the correction that I've been saying for quite some time finally should be visible next week. In the meanwhile, take advantage of tomorrow. If you have some positions, open positions on the buy side, please close them tomorrow and get ready for a difficult next week. Happy investing. Take care. Bye bye.